So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne having sex with Will. Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder, like murder.
Somehow within that relationship, I lost my husband to Dwayne Martin, and they became better friends than what me and my husband did, and I couldn't understand that for the love of God.
I'm trying to compose myself because I got something that I want to say. It's all your fault, Jada. Why? Because you invited us to talk about it. You see what happens when you tell people business?
Okay, we saw it.
Right now, Will Smith's biggest problem isn't Jada Pinkett Smith for once, but it seems like she did welcome an invasion of privacy. Ever since her book, people have been sharing their stories about Will, and now a former assistant has a story about Will and Dwayne Martin. So let's get into it. Recently, Will Smith has been going through it. I mean, we've seen Jada Pinkett Smith air out their dirty laundry in her book. Well, I think she inspired other people to do the same because we're hearing some interesting stories about Will Smith and a former co-star. Will met Dwayne Martin on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he starred in 2 episodes. He also starred in 3 episodes of the reboot that aired in 2022. So these 2 men are still good friends and working together. This report writes that Will and Dwayne have been very close friends for a long time. They reportedly share an amazing bond, as Will even saved Dwayne from legal trouble once. If it wasn't for Will and his partner Jada, the actor almost went into a massive legal battle over his mansion. We'll talk a little bit more about that legal battle, but he also starred in a project called All of Us, where Will and Jada were executive producers.
We were married. We have a kid, and of course I love you, but I don't love you, you know what I mean?
Now let's get into these rumors that Will and Dwayne are closer than just co-stars. Tasha K is a YouTuber who recently interviewed brother Bilaal, who is a former assistant of Will Smith's. He claims that he was a best friend at one point, and he claims that he saw Will and Dwayne Martin engage in intercourse in Dwayne Martin's dressing room. Now, Tasha K is an intense YouTuber, and she has been known to get the scoop. She wrote on Twitter that Will Smith will wish this interview never happened. This is one of the closest people to Will, aside from Jada, to sit down and tell all about him. Let's get into what Bilaal has to share, which I don't think that I agree with, like trying to make a big deal out of someone's like intimate life. I mean, I guess like at that point they thought that Jada and Will were married, and now we found out they weren't married, so I don't really know what the implications are. But he claims that he saw sexual acts. There was one that he walked in on. Bilaal said that he looked everywhere and noticed that Will's car was right in place, but the actor was nowhere to be found. Keep in mind that Bilaal claims that he was kind of like a handler, like someone who was supposed to keep his eye on Will at all points. He claims that the staff on set were pressuring him to go and find Will, bring him back, and just, get the show on the road, but he couldn't find Will anywhere. He claims he wasn't trying to snoop, he was just doing his job.
And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at?
Brother Bilaal went on to share that he opened Dwayne's dressing room, and that's where he saw Will and Dwayne getting at it, which probably would have been an interesting sight to see.
So now I'm holding Dwayne down too, so I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie, and they're calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. And I'm like, yo, kind of fuck down. Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder, like murder. It was murder in there.
Bilaal claims that when he locked eyes with Dwayne, he was like a deer in headlights, and he said, oh crap. Brother Bilaal claims that when he locked eyes with Dwayne, he felt like a deer in the headlights, and he said, "Oh crap," and got out of there. I wonder in that situation, like, does Will make it out to set, or like, did they finish what they were doing? Like, oh, it's just something so bizarre about that. At this point, when this happened, Will was married to Jada. Again, we don't know if they were ever actually, I guess they were married, but they've been separated. So they may have been separated by this point, but Dwayne was also married to Tisha Campbell. I still don't understand the timeline between Jada and Will, and I made a whole video about that, but Bilaal claims that Jada Smith was the woman that everybody wanted. Will needed that validation to have that type of woman. And I don't know, like, why that would lead him to hooking up with Dwayne. Brother Bilaal is trying to suggest that Will has a small you-know-what, which I just think is ridiculous, saying, quote, "If a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and then you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to please her. If she's itching for that baby leg, she wants that baby leg." What? Who is this man and why is he talking like this?
Jada was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman.
You saw her say that Will Smith had a small dick?
Oh, I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her.
I just have to ask, what? Like, why a baby's leg? Oh, just so creepy. Something is really off about that. There are mixed reviews on Twitter. This person writes, "My question is why though? Why now, and why is he slandering another black powerful man? It be your own people, I swear." Another person tweets, "He sounds like he's saying it to get attention. Maybe he got fired. No evidence of anything he's saying." This person writes, "This is sad and you should be ashamed." And it seems like people are annoyed with Tasha for even entertaining this guy because Jada said that they are looking to sue. I may be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that like Cardi B and Tasha K got into a legal battle over like lies that she was spreading. So if Jada wanted to sue her, it's not a good look because she's lost before. But Jada did do an interview and she was asked about these rumors.
How does it feel in 2023 to still have those same rumors out about people you love, like Will and Dwayne?
I know.
That just came out too recently.
Yeah, you know, and let me just say this. It's ridiculous and it's nonsense. And this is a person that tried a shakedown, a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories. Mm-hmm. So that's actionable. So we're going to roll with that. It's not true. We're going to take care of it.
Now, Jada seems pretty confident in her stance, but I must admit, as someone who has done videos about Jada before, I don't always trust what she's saying. I mean, how can you believe what she says after all the contradictions over decades?
So there was a money shakedown prior?
Oh, yeah. It was a money shakedown.
They tried to extort you before?
Well, it's based around this person's idea that they in some way were doing business around Will's book and that they spent money or what have you and that they needed to be compensated. So he already tried to do this money shakedown. Mm-hmm. Will was willing to give him a certain amount or what have you, and he didn't take it. So this whole situation is based on that. And I don't know the complete details about it, but that's about to come out because, like I told you, about to take legal action.
Right. You should.
Yeah, no, we are.
I must acknowledge that Brother Bilaal was pretty vague with his statements. Like, we don't know exactly when, like what date this happened or any of the details.
I was asking how's Will dealing with it, you know, with...
Oh.
Does he laugh it off?
Release a statement.
Will, here's one good thing about Will. Will's always going to find the funny.
I figured that.
Yeah, he's always going to find the funny. You know what I'm saying? And so
y'all laughed at the murder, kill part?
Yeah. You have to because it's absolutely ridiculous.
I am glad that she brought up that line because it was so weird, but it seems like Brother Bilaal and Will Smith had some type of deal surrounding his book. It fell through, and she's claiming that now Brother Bilaal is on like a hate campaign trying to slander them because he didn't get what he wanted. But when confronted with this, she has been saying that they are suing, so we might have a legal complaint to go through sometime in a future video.
What do you say about the allegations? There's like, you know, like so many rumors. Anything you want to say?
We suing.
I know that's right. Thank you, Miss Pinkett.
I like how that reporter said, I know that's right. So go ahead and sue them. I mean, if you want to go into discovery, they will go through the evidence, they will do their investigation, and the truth will come out. So I don't mind a good lawsuit if there's a truth to be found. And of course, Will Smith's team put out a statement claiming that he had never done anything with Duane Martin. They say that this story is completely fabricated and the claim is unequivocally false. And it looks like Duane Martin has nothing to say when it comes down to this situation. He's got no response. As I mentioned earlier, people are questioning the validity of this because Jada is speaking on it. They are so defensive about it, and it came from Tasha K. Remember, Cardi B won a $4 million defamation claim against Tasha K. She sued Tasha in 2019 over what she calls a malicious campaign by Tasha to hurt Cardi B's reputation. She was awarded more than $2.5 million in damages and another $1.3 million in legal fees. Tasha K was found liable for defamation, invasion of privacy, which was Cardi's album, wasn't it? And intentional infliction of emotional distress. So if Jada sues Tasha K, I mean, the situation with Cardi doesn't help. And she's also gotten into trouble with R. Kelly. Even though R. Kelly is as guilty as they come, he sued Tasha K. R. Kelly was accusing a former prison officer of sharing his prison records with a woman known as Tasha K. Tasha would get those prison records and go and make videos about them and expose things that I guess were considered private information. So again, getting herself in trouble. I mean, that's kind of scary. But these rumors about Dwayne didn't come out of thin air. They've been around for a while, and it turns out it stems from an issue, a rough patch that happened between Will and Jada back in 2012 because Will was spending more time with Duane Martin than his own family.
Stories about Will's secret affairs with men started back in 2012 when Jada and Will's marriage was on the rocks because Will was apparently spending significantly more time with Duane than he had been doing with Jada and the kids, and several sources confirmed that as time went by, Jada was growing more upset about it. In fact, Will and Dwayne had been inseparable and were spotted together multiple times whining and dining, and even going on a private cruise in Trinidad, at restaurants and art openings in Miami, and a trade show in Las Vegas, all in just 4 months.
I mean, all of that in 4 months, that sounds like a straight up relationship. Like they were just dating at that point. But we also have rumors that stem from this woman named Alexis Arquette, who claims that Will is homosexual, which isn't a problem. It's not like headlines, but I guess it's shocking. I don't think he is per se, but this is what people are saying. This report claims the transgender sister of David Arquette claimed that the couple's stance on lack of diversity among nominees is hypocritical because Will and Jada have allegedly been deceiving fans for years over their own sexuality. Okay, it seems like they're prying a little bit too much. But these rumors went wild because this woman, Alexis, wrote a long post writing that when Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits that his first marriage ended when she walked into him servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them. Oh my gosh, she's chaotic. It's a little bit too confrontational for my feelings. I don't know. I don't really like this approach. But I do have something else to add, and it comes from Duane Martin's side, because Duane's friend and co-worker from the show All of Us confirmed that Duane has a track record of befriending and getting close to men.
Really, to be quite honest, then he became friends with Dwayne Martin, which used to be one of my friends on All of Us. And when I introduced them, that was one of the worst things I ever did.
So it seems like the partners don't like their men getting too close to Dwayne because he ends up pulling them away and just like, bromancing with them.
Somehow within that relationship, I lost my husband to Dwayne Martin, and they became better friends than what me and my husband did, and I couldn't understand that for the love of God.
I think that's a really interesting point to leave with because maybe that's how Dwayne operates and he was able to do that to Will Smith and they just like had that like friendship. I was going to say romantic, but we don't know if it was romantic, but it does seem like a stressful life for Will when Jada's speaking out, this brother Bilaal speaking out. I mean, everyone wants to get their piece of his pie, but I want to hear what you guys think. Piece of his pie. Oh my God, that's probably a bad analogy. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye guys.